My name is Sarah, and I need to tell you about something that happened when I was 9 years old. Something I've never fully explained to anyone, not even my therapist. Because how do you explain to someone that your childhood closet spoke to you? It started 3 days after we moved into the old Victorian house on Maple Street. You know those houses, the ones with the wraparound porches and the windows that look like eyes. Yeah, that kind of house. My bedroom was at the end of the upstairs hallway. It was bigger than my old room, which I thought was amazing at first. Pink wallpaper with little roses, a window seat overlooking the backyard, and a closet. A deep walk-in closet with a wooden door that didn't quite close right. My mom said it was because the house was old, that things settle and warp. She promised Dad would fix it. He never did. The first night I heard it, I thought I was dreaming. It was just past midnight. I remember because I could hear the grandfather clock downstairs chiming. 12 slow, heavy chimes that seemed to shake the walls. Then silence. And in that silence, I heard it. Sarah, just my name, whispered so softly I almost convinced myself it was the wind. But my window was closed, and the sound, it came from inside my room. I pulled my blankets up to my chin, like that would protect me. My eyes were locked on that closet door. It was cracked open about 6 inches, just enough to see darkness inside. Deep, thick darkness that seemed to move. Mom, I called out, my voice small and shaky. No answer. Dad, nothing. Sarah, come here. This time it was clearer, definitely coming from the closet, and it sounded wrong, like someone was trying to sound kind, but didn't quite know how, like something pretending to be human. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't. I just stared at that closet door until sunrise, watching it, making sure it didn't open any wider. When my mom came to wake me up for school, I told her about the voice. She did what parents do. She smiled, kissed my forehead, and said it was just a dream, that I was still adjusting to the new house. But that night, it happened again, and the night after that, and the night after that. Each night, the voice got a little louder, a little more insistent, and each night, that closet door would be open just a tiny bit wider than I'd left it. I started sleeping with my desk lamp on. My parents said I was being silly, wasting electricity. They didn't understand. They couldn't hear it. On the 5th night, the voice said something different. I know you can hear me, Sarah. I've been waiting so long. I threw my covers off and ran. I didn't care if my parents thought I was crazy. I burst into their room, sobbing, begging them to let me sleep on their floor. My dad walked me back to my room, his hand on my shoulder, telling me I was too old for this nonsense. He opened the closet door wide, flicked on a light inside. Empty. Just clothes and shoes and boxes of my stuff we hadn't unpacked yet. See, he said, ruffling my hair. Nothing there, kiddo. But when he left, when I was alone again, the door slowly creaked shut on its own, and the light inside the closet went out, even though the switch was still on. Your father can't see me, Sarah. Only you can, because you're special. The next morning, I pretended to be sick. I stayed home from school, and I did something I'd been too scared to do before. I searched the house while my parents were at work. I found them in the basement. Old newspapers from the 1950s, left behind by previous owners. And in one of them, I found a story that made my blood turn to ice. Local girl 9 disappears from bedroom. Parents discovered her missing from her room on the 2nd floor. The only sign of a struggle was her closet door, left wide open. Police have no leads. There was a photo. A black and white photo of a little girl with dark curls and a missing front tooth. She was standing in front of a house. My house. And behind her, you could just barely see an upstairs window. My window. I dropped the newspaper and ran upstairs. I don't know why. I just had to see. Had to look. My closet door was wide open, and standing in the darkness, barely visible, was a little girl with dark curls. She was transparent, like fog shaped into a person, and she was smiling at me. But her eyes, God, her eyes were so sad. "They took me, Sarah," she whispered. "They took me and they put me in the walls, behind the closet. I'm still here. I'm still in the walls." I screamed. I screamed so loud our neighbors called the police. My parents came home to find me in the front yard, refusing to go back inside. I told them everything, the voice, the newspaper, the girl. They didn't believe me. Of course they didn't, but they let me switch rooms. We moved my stuff to the guest room downstairs that night. 2 years later, during renovations, they found her, behind the wall of that closet, right where she said she'd be. A child skeleton, wrapped in a blanket from the 1950s. A little girl with a missing front tooth, confirmed through dental records. Her name was Catherine. She'd been missing for 62 years. I'm 23 now, and I still can't sleep with my closet door open. My boyfriend thinks I'm weird, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know that sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I can still hear her. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for finding me. My name is Marcus, and I need to talk about my 7th birthday party. Not because it was fun or memorable for the right reasons, but because of what showed up in the photographs. Something that was never actually there. It was 1998. My mom was huge into documenting everything with her Polaroid camera. You know, the ones that print out the photo instantly. She must have taken 40 pictures that day. Me blowing out candles, me opening presents, me with my friends playing pin the tail on the donkey in our backyard. Normal kid stuff. We lived in a small ranch house in suburban Ohio. Nothing special. Nothing weird had ever happened there before. That night, after everyone left and I was getting ready for bed, my mom was organizing the photos in the kitchen. She was putting them in a scrapbook she'd been making for me. I heard her gasp. Not a scared gasp, more like a surprised one. Confused. "Honey," she called to my dad. "Come look at this." I snuck out of my room and peeked around the corner. My parents were hunched over the kitchen table, looking at the Polaroids spread out under the light. "Do you see him?" My mom whispered, pointing. "What the hell?" My dad muttered. I walked in. "See who?" My mom jumped a little, then quickly smiled that forced parent smile when they're trying not to worry you. "Nothing, sweetie. Just thought I saw something in the photos. Go brush your teeth." But I'd already seen them. The photos. And the man standing in the background of every single one. He was tall, really tall, like he had to be at least 6.5 feet. And he was wearing a dark suit, like he was at a funeral or something. But the weirdest part? He was smiling. Not a normal smile. A huge, stretched out smile that showed way too many teeth. And his eyes were completely black. No whites, just black. "Who is that?" I asked, pointing at the figure standing behind me in the photo where I was opening presents. "It's probably just a shadow," my dad said, but he didn't sound convinced. "Or maybe someone's uncle or something." "None of our friends have an uncle that tall," my mom said quietly. They looked at each other. That look parents give each other when they're having a whole conversation without words. My dad gathered all the photos and spread them out in order, chronologically, based on what was happening in each one. And that's when we saw it, the pattern. In the first photo, taken around 1 p.m. when guests were arriving, he was far away, standing at the edge of our property, near the fence line. Just standing there. We'd never noticed him during the actual party. In the second photo, 15 minutes later, he was closer, by the tree in our backyard. Third photo, he was near the patio. Fourth, fifth, 6 photos. He kept getting closer. By the 20th photo, he was standing directly behind me, close enough that if he'd been real, I would have felt his breath on my neck. But here's the thing that made my mom start crying. In every single photo, no matter where he was standing, no matter what angle the camera was at, he was always looking directly at the camera, always smiling that horrible smile, like he knew he was being photographed and he wanted us to see him. My dad called the police. I remember sitting on the couch in my Spider-Man pajamas while two officers sat at our kitchen table, looking at the Polaroids. They were quiet for a long time. Finally, one of them said, "Have you noticed anyone suspicious in your neighborhood? Anyone following you or your son?" My mom shook her head. "Never. We've lived here for 5 years. It's always been safe." The officers took copies of 3 photos. They said they'd look into it, but I could tell they didn't know what to make of it. How could they? The man was in the photos, but nobody had seen him at the party. Not me, not my parents, not any of the guests. He was invisible, except to the camera. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about that smile, those black eyes. Around 2 a.m., I got up to use the bathroom. My room was right across from my parents' room, and the bathroom was at the end of the hall. When I came out, I looked down the hallway toward the kitchen. The light was on, and standing in the doorway, silhouetted against the light, was a tall figure in a dark suit. I froze. My hand was still on the bathroom doorknob. My heart was beating so hard I could hear it in my ears. The figure tilted its head to the side, too far to the side, like its neck was broken, and then it smiled. That same horrible smile from the photos. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. I tried to move, but my legs wouldn't work. It took one step toward me, then another. Its movements were wrong, jerky, like a puppet being pulled on strings. I don't know where I found the strength, but I threw myself backward into the bathroom and slammed the door. I locked it and sat with my back against it, shaking so hard my teeth were chattering. "Mom, Dad," I finally managed to scream. "Help." I heard my dad's door open, his footsteps running down the hall. "Marcus, Marcus, what's wrong?" The doorknob rattled. "Open the door, son." When I finally opened the door, my dad was standing there in his boxers and t-shirt, looking terrified. He pulled me into a hug. I saw him. I sobbed into his shoulder. The man from the photos. He was here. He was right there. My dad looked down the hallway toward the kitchen. Empty. We searched the whole house. Every room, every closet, every window and door. Everything was locked. No signs of entry. No one there. The next day, my mom did something I didn't know about until years later. She took the photos to a medium, one of those people who claims they can talk to spirits. I know how that sounds, but my mom was desperate. The medium took one look at the photos and went pale. "This isn't a spirit," she said. "This is something else. Something that exists between spaces, between moments. It feeds on attention, on being seen." "How do we get rid of it?" my mom asked. The medium shook her head. "You don't. You can't kill something that was never alive, but you can stop feeding it." She told my mom to destroy all the photos, every single one, and to never, ever speak about the man again. So that's what we did. My dad built a fire in the backyard that night, and we burned every Polaroid from my 7th birthday party. We watched them curl and blacken and turn to ash, and for years, everything was fine. Until 3 months ago. I'm 25 now. I live in an apartment in Chicago, 2 states away from my childhood home. I'm engaged. I have a good job. I haven't thought about the smiling man in years. Then I got a Facebook notification. A memory from 7 years ago. A photo from a party I'd gone to in college. I almost scrolled past it, but something made me stop. I zoomed in on the background, And there, standing in the crowd of people at that party, was a tall man in a dark suit, still smiling, still watching. I've checked every photo I've ever posted online, every picture I'm tagged in, every group photo from the last 7 years. He's in 14 of them, always in the background, always getting closer. In the most recent photo, from my engagement party last month, he's standing right behind me, so close I should have been able to feel him. And I need you to understand something. I'm not telling you this story to scare you. I'm telling you because I need you to check your own photos. Old ones, new ones. Check them carefully. Look in the background. Look for someone who shouldn't be there. Because if you find him, it means he's chosen you too. And he never stops watching. My name is Emma, and when I was 11 years old, my best friend taught me a game. A game that was supposed to let us see the future, talk to ghosts, and prove we were braver than the other kids at school. We played it once. Once was enough. Her name was Lily. We've been best friends since 3rd grade. The kind of friends who knew each other's secrets, who had sleepovers every weekend, who promised we'd be friends forever. She lived 2 houses down from me in a quiet neighborhood where nothing exciting ever happened, where the most dangerous thing was Mrs. Peterson's mean cat that liked to scratch kids. God, I wish it had stayed that way. It was summer. School was out, and we were bored out of our minds. We'd already watched every movie, read every magazine, and exhausted every game we owned. That's when Lily told me about the midnight game. She'd found it online, on one of those creepy websites with black backgrounds and red text. The ones that had stories about haunted places and urban legends. It's real, she insisted, showing me her mom's laptop. Look at all these people who've tried it. They all say it works. The rules were specific, weirdly specific. You had to start at exactly midnight, not 12:01. Not 11:59, exactly midnight. You needed a candle, salt, a piece of paper, and a needle to prick your finger. You had to write your full name on the paper in your own blood, then place it with the candle outside your front door. Knock 22 times. The last knock had to happen exactly at midnight. Open the door, blow out the candle, and shut the door. Then you had to relight the candle immediately. The game was supposed to summon something. Not a ghost, exactly. The website called it the Midnight Man, a pagan entity that would hunt you through your own house until 3:33 a.m. If you kept your candle lit and didn't let him catch you, you'd win. And if you won, you'd get to ask one question about your future, and the answer would appear to you in dreams. But if he caught you, the website didn't say what happened then, just that you'd know. And you'd wish you hadn't played. We should do it, Lily said, her eyes bright with excitement. Are you insane? I laughed nervously. My parents would kill me. They're asleep by 10. We'll do it at my house. My parents sleep like rocks. I should have said no. Every part of me knew I should have said no. But I was 11, and I wanted to be brave. I wanted to prove I wasn't scared. Okay, I heard myself say. Let's do it. That Friday, I told my parents I was sleeping over at Lily's. They didn't think twice about it. I slept there all the time. Lily had everything ready. 2 candles, salt, paper, and a sewing needle she'd taken from her mom's craft box. We waited in her room, watching the clock on her nightstand, watching the minutes crawl by. 11:47. 11:52, 11:58. You ready? She whispered. I wasn't, but I nodded anyway. At 11:59, we crept downstairs. Her house was dark and silent. I could hear her parents snoring from their bedroom upstairs. Lily pricked her finger first, squeezed a drop of blood onto the paper, and wrote her name in shaky letters. Then she handed me the needle. My hands were trembling so bad I almost dropped it. I pricked my thumb. It hurt more than I expected. I wrote my name next to hers. We placed a paper in front of the door with the candle on top of it. 11:59 and 50 seconds. Start knocking, Lily whispered. Knock, knock, knock. We took turns. My knock, then hers. Knock, knock, knock. I was counting in my head. 15, 16, 17. The house felt colder. Or maybe that was just my imagination. Knock, knock, knock. 20, 21. The clock on the microwave flicked to 12 o'clock. Knock, 22. For a moment, nothing happened. We stood there, staring at the door, holding our breath. Then Lily reached for the doorknob and opened it. The candle was still lit. The flame was dancing in a breeze that shouldn't have been there. The air outside was completely still. Blow it out, I whispered. Lily leaned forward and blew. The flame went out. She shut the door. And in that split second of darkness, before she relit the candle, voice drops. I felt something rush past us, into the house. The candle flared back to life, and we both saw it at the same time. The flame was burning black. Not blue, not orange, black. Like oil smoke shaped into fire. That's not normal, I whispered. The website said it might do that, Lily said, but her voice was shaking. It means it worked. He's here. What do? We keep the candle lit. We don't let it go out. And we stay away from him until 3:33. How do we know where he is? She looked at me with wide, scared eyes. If the candle goes out, he's close. We stayed in the living room at first, sitting on the couch, the candle between us, watching the shadows. The house felt different. Wrong. Like the walls were closer than they should be. Like the darkness in the corners was deeper. At 12:17, we heard it. Footsteps. Slow, heavy footsteps coming from upstairs. That's my parents, Lily whispered. They must have woken up. But the footsteps didn't sound like her parents. They were too slow, too deliberate. Step, 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 coming down the stairs. We need to move, I hissed. We grabbed the candle and ran to the kitchen, pressing ourselves against the wall. The footsteps reached the bottom of the stairs, then stopped. We could hear breathing. Deep, raspy breathing that sounded like wine through a tunnel. The candle flickered. No, no, no. Lily was chanting under her breath. Stay lit, stay lit, stay lit. The flame guttered, shrinking to almost nothing. And then we heard it. A voice, deep and hollow and wrong. Found you. The candle went out. Completely out. We were in total darkness. I felt something brush past me. Something cold and solid and wrong. Something that felt like it had too many joints, too many angles. Lily screamed and grabbed my hand. We ran blindly through the kitchen, crashing into the table, knocking over chairs. She was fumbling with the lighter, trying to relight the candle. Click, click, click. Come on, she sobbed. Click, click. Finally a spark. The candle lit, and in the brief flash of light we saw him. He was tall, impossibly tall. His head was brushing the kitchen ceiling, but his proportions were all wrong. His arms too long, his legs bent at angles that shouldn't exist. He didn't have a face, just a smooth, dark surface where a face should be, like a mannequin that was never finished. But I could feel him looking at us, focusing on us. He reached out one of those two long arms, and his fingers, God, his fingers had too many joints. They bent and curled like spider legs. The salt. I screamed. Lily understood immediately. She dumped a container of salt in a circle around us, just like the website said to do if we were in danger. The midnight man stopped. His hand hovered in the air, just inches from the salt line. And then he tilted his head, like he was curious, like he was thinking. We stayed in that salt circle for 2 hours. The midnight man never left. He just stood there watching us. Sometimes he'd walk around the circle, slow and patient. Sometimes he'd crouch down, getting closer, his non-face inches from the salt line. But he never crossed it. At 3:33 a.m. exactly, the candle flame turned from black back to normal orange, and he was gone. Just gone. We didn't speak for a long time. We just sat there in the salt circle, holding each other, shaking. When the sun came up, everything looked normal, like nothing had happened. Lily's parents never woke up. They never knew. We burned the paper with our names on it. We poured the salt down the drain. We promised we'd never talk about it again. And we didn't. But things changed between us after that night. We stopped having sleepovers. Stopped hanging out as much. By 8th grade, we barely spoke. I think seeing something like that together, it bonded us in a way that was too heavy, too dark. Looking at her meant remembering, and neither of us wanted to remember. She moved away the summer before high school. I haven't seen her in 8 years. Last week, I got a friend request on Facebook from Lily. I accepted it without thinking. It had been so long. Maybe enough time had passed that we could be friends again. Normal friends. She messaged me immediately. Just one sentence. "Emma, I need to tell you something about that night." I stared at that message for 10 minutes before responding. What about it? The 3 little dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, we didn't follow all the rules. We were supposed to play alone, one person at a time. The website said never to play with someone else. My blood went cold. What happens if 2 people play together? The response came fast. He gets to choose one of you, one to let go, and one to keep. Lily, what are you saying? I'm saying I haven't been able to sleep with the lights off since that night. I'm saying I see him in mirrors sometimes, in windows, in any reflection after dark. I'm saying I think he chose me, Emma, and I don't know how to make it stop. Long pause. Have you seen him? Have you seen him at all? I thought about it, really thought about it, and I realized no, I hadn't seen anything, hadn't felt anything. After that night, I'd been fine, completely fine. No, I typed, I haven't. That's what I thought. He chose me. He let you go. And now, Emma, I don't know how much longer I can do this. He's getting closer. Every night, he's closer. I can feel him even when I can't see him. Lily, you need to get help. Talk to someone. I've tried. No one believes me. They think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. But he's real, Emma. You know he's real. You saw him too. What do you want me to do? The 3 dots appeared. Stayed for a long time. I want you to play the game again. By yourself this time. Follow the rules exactly. And maybe if you summon him, he'll leave me alone. Maybe he'll choose you instead. You want me to offer myself to him? To trade places with you? Emma, please. I'm begging you. I can't live like this anymore. I can't. I haven't responded yet. That was 3 days ago. She messages me every day now. Sometimes just, please. Sometimes, I can see him right now. He's standing in the corner of my room. Last night, Emma, help me. Please help me. I don't know what to do. She's my best friend. Or she was. Don't I owe her something? But then I think about that thing in the kitchen. That impossible, wrong thing with too many joints and no face. I think about spending the rest of my life looking over my shoulder, seeing him in reflections, feeling him get closer. This morning, I got one more message from Lily. Just a video. No text. I almost didn't watch it, but I did. It was 40 seconds of her bedroom at night, dark except for the phone's light. The camera was shaky, like she was crying while filming. And then she panned to her mirror, In the reflection, standing directly behind her, was the Midnight Man. His too long arm was resting on her shoulder. And right before the video ended, I saw something that made me drop my phone. He was looking at the camera, at me, and I swear to God, he was smiling. I haven't slept since I watched that video. I keep my lights on all night now, and I keep checking my messages, waiting for Lily to write again. But she hasn't. It's been 3 days, and I can't stop wondering, if I play the game again, would he leave her alone? Or would he just have both of us? I think I'm going to find out. Tonight, at midnight. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. These stories came from real people who shared their experiences with me. Changed names, of course, for their protection. If you have a childhood memory that still haunts you, I want to hear it. Details in the description below. And remember, some games are meant to be played,